Wow. So let's go back here. Continuation of the tunnel.
The loading dock is declared an asset of cultural interest, and it's actually located in the hamlet of Mionio, and is the only preserved mineral loading dock out of the 6 that were built in Castro Urdiales. It was built in 1938, replacing the 19th century primitive bridge, which was blown up during the Civil War of 1937.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all rusting away.
Gosh, it's still standing there.
It's a really impressive sight, well worth a visit, but some quite hairy steps going up and going through tunnels.
More steps.
If it was not for Park for Night, we would not have discovered this very impressive landmark. It is in fact one of the top tourist attractions of the town, but very few people around when we were there in April.
Here's the bridge. Historical landmark.
This area was famed for its minerals, and I think the company was actually started by an Englishman, and it's mainly iron ore that they mined here, and this made the city of Bilbao quite rich. They had steel works and they did shipbuilding. Then all that sort of collapsed, and now Bilbao has become a sort of smart city, and Britain benefited a lot from it. Ships were loaded on that quay over there, on that loading point there, and the ore was shipped straight to England for the steel. So it was time for some shopping. We've looked around quite a bit at different supermarkets and found the cheapest place to go is Dia supermarket. Although it's not always easy to find a Dia supermarket with a car park, we end up sometimes in more expensive stores.
Good boy, Dad. Our park up just for a picnic. It's next to an hermitage. Empanada. Okay, lazo rayado. Let's try this. It's good.
While in Spain we wanted to try as much Spanish food as we could, and our favourite buys were the empanadas and pastries like lazo rayado. Driving through the country roads, we were never disappointed. You see some wonderful ancient architecture and hidden lakes and other features.
There's the lake, Charlie.
We drove through the port city of Santander, the capital of the Cantabria region.
Estación Marítima of Santander.
The port is where you take the ferry to Portsmouth from Plymouth in England and Cork in Ireland. There are some amazing coastal walks just outside Santander.
Because they're low. So this is the park up. So we just choose where we want to stay.
There are some amazing coastal walks just outside Santander, really beautiful along the cliffs. We walked for quite a way and had some wonderful views.
Is that easy to go down?
Go down and around there, I guess, but I don't think I'll do it. This beautiful coastline.
Yeah.
Wonderful walks all along the coast. Look at as far as the eye can see, you can walk all along that coast.
Going for a walk, going to those cliffs. Oh, sheer drop. Footpath is okay. Climbing up to see those rocks.
On our hike the next day, it was really beautiful. It's very popular with cyclists, joggers and dog walkers. We saw many on our way.
Beso.
Ya. No fuma, ¿no?
No fumo. You have to really look carefully in this.
Onwards now to Santiago de Compostela, but we'll stop on the way.
Horse?
Horse, come on, say.
Hello, horse.
We're parking for the night.
We arrived at our park up for the night by the Pancha Island in Ribadeo. This little island, connected by a bridge, boasts a lighthouse and a restaurant. Really very beautiful setting. The land and the seascapes are incredible. The blue and white lighthouse against the backdrop of the turquoise blue sea and its lapping waves are quite wonderful. The pink flowered succulent plants practically cover the entire island. Quite a sight to see. We arrived just in time for sunset, which makes a great photo shoot. On one of my many walks with Charlie, he suddenly veered off down this little footpath, and of course I was dragged behind him, and it opened up into this lovely little park up. So we went there a bit later and decided to spend the night there. Beautiful spot, all by ourselves, lovely view out to sea.
This is our private enclave. We're all alone here, and this is next to us. So this is where we stop to prepare our lunch. Paella,
Yeah,
calamari,
all splendid.
and to celebrate our 31st day on the road. Actually, the mess on the... So this is, they call quesada with the aroma de limon. Okay, it's good, delicious.
After leaving Bilbao, we carried on along the coastal road of the Bay of Biscay, and you see so many pilgrims walking along the way. This, of course, is the Camino de Santiago. It's really amazing. Their determination to walk the hundreds of kilometers to reach Santiago de Compostela.
Hola!
We greet them with hola as a way of recognizing and respecting their devotion. It's really open to everybody, and you have to have a passport which is stamped daily.
Hola!
And you can stay in the hostels en route. There are many different starting points, and I think the minimum you have to do is 100 kilometers. A lot of people do it from France for 790 kilometers. That's a long way.
So we're now approaching Santiago de Compostela. We are parked at the university car park, and it's probably free. See?
Well, Charlie went to university. He's going to study.
University of Porcini.
University of Porcini for SEP.
Forceps. So you can know how to dig forceps, Charlie.
Dig for SEP.
Good
Make us
boy,
some money,
Charlie. Good boy.
Make us some
Good
money,
boy,
Charlie.
Charlie.
We'll go and get an education, Charlie.
Education in
University.
Santiago de Compostela, Charlie. So this is where
So
we're going
finally,
now.
on reaching Santiago de
This is
Compostela,
the
we
university
parked at the university car park,
And it's free on
which
a
was very
Sunday.
quiet as it was a Sunday. But it's quite a long walk to the old town, so we drove a bit closer to find a good
Yeah, let's
spot.
go first. This is all where they're going. less people, yeah. We go to the less people.
The old town of Santiago de Compostela, one of the most famous pilgrimage sites in the world, has become a symbol of the Spanish Christian struggle against Islam. Destroyed by the Muslims at the end of the 10th century, it was completely rebuilt in the 11th century. With its Romanesque, Gothic and Baroque buildings, the old town of Santiago is one of the world's most beautiful urban areas and is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1985. We were quite blown over by the place, full of bikes and pilgrims and people wandering around, taking photos, visiting the cathedral. The cathedral actually is believed to be the birthplace of St. James the Great, the apostle of Jesus Christ. It's been a pilgrimage since the Middle Ages and marks the end of the pilgrimage route. We see a lot of cyclists arriving. Cyclists on the Camino are known as bicigrinos, bike pilgrims. They will need to cycle at least 200 kilometers to Santiago de Compostela to receive their Compostela certificate. Pilgrims on foot, on the other hand, must walk at least 100 kilometers into Santiago to receive their certificate. Apparently over 300,000 pilgrims arrive in Santiago each year. The Council of Europe named the Camino de Santiago as the first European cultural itinerary in 1987, and its important role in encouraging cultural exchanges since the Middle Ages. In 1993, the trail was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. From Lisbon in Hungary to Santiago de Compostela, Spain. Galicia. The long road. 31 days.
31 days.
31 days to get here.
To get here.
Wow, a few
without
countries.
spending a zero anything for accommodation. Okay.
Nada. Seeing all these pilgrims, young and old, coming from many nations across the globe, sparked a desire in us to perhaps try it one day and do the Camino route. Not everybody does the Camino de Santiago for religious reasons. There are many people who just want to do it as a challenge and to reconnect with nature and a kind of spiritual adventure. I believe this is something we could do, but we would probably only do the 100 kilometers, as I'm not sure we're up to doing the full 790 kilometers from France. Anyway, something to think about.
Two walkers going to, it's a video.
Yeah.
Going to
Santiago de Compostela.
I'm